Amoonguna is a very healthy, very strong community in a lot of ways. Health outcomes can always improve, but the protection of children, I think, through the Northern Territory emergency response is actually reduced rather than improved, because Amoonguna, before the intervention and before the federal government took a 5-year lease on the country, people could drink in their own homes. And so children were in a safe environment to a certain extent with their parents or significant others. Whereas now, because people aren't allowed to drink on the community, they drink down at the boundary fence. That's the only reason people go there. So if children are taken down there, which has happened, they're there with people who the only reason they're there is to consume alcohol. Alcohol reform through the federal intervention has not done a lot to protect children. In fact, I'd say it's created a situation where children are not as safe as they used to be, and neither are men and women.
This abhorrent, painting a picture of Aboriginal men largely as vile, disgusting abusers. It's had enormous impact on blokes, I can tell you, because they speak to us about it. We're doing all this work on depression. We're actually measuring depression. We have to measure it because there's so much of it. The media certainly played its role in not only propagating the intervention itself and feeding it, but they've also fed this negative stereotyping of Aboriginal people quite phenomenally. It's been very hard to watch, to the point now where a lot of people are completely disengaging from being asked about the intervention, or what do you think it means, or do you want to commentate on it, do you want to do this, and it's just soul destroying. I think the other thing we need to consider that has never been brought to the table is really a healing perspective. Abuse does not happen in a vacuum. It doesn't happen because people are just lazy, or because people are just black, or people are just impoverished. But these are the things that all play together to impact on whether or not abuse occurs. And there's a whole bunch of harm that leads to abuse, and that's a consequence of abuse. And we've never talked about that. We have to. We have to heal. Healing first, health will come, and then communities and their future will come too with that.
Along with the Amoonguna Health Service, one of the other positive programs coming out of Amoonguna is the work done around housing construction by the Amoonguna Construction Team. It's basically a program that employs locals from Amoonguna in the construction of houses in the community. Working with professionals in the industry, they gain a 4-year apprenticeship and take skills with them that they can apply elsewhere later in life.
Got up really early for putting up floor slab. Get up somewhere around 6 o'clock in the morning. Go around, wait for the cement truck to come in. Wait it, yeah. And we do a bit of digging with shovel. Move some stuff with backhoe and loader. Move some heavy stuff. Get some bricks out of the garage and move it. And have the bricklayer get us cement. Yeah, it's really hard work.
It brings an employment for the community,
Yeah.
Just to kickstart things.
Yeah, we get certificate for that too. Working.
How long does the training go for?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah. That's great. So you can be certified builders and look after, housing, but maintenance as well?
Yes.
Employment for the community. Communities will benefit from it.
Yeah.
And get a lot of these young fellas up and down there.
Yeah.
So get a bit of employment for themselves. And instead of getting the outsiders again that come in and do the work.
Yep.
Sort of money going in the impact from the community.
Okay, well, Smogo's over.
The program's a fantastic example of something that both engages members of the community in work that benefits the community, as well as providing essential things like housing.
Now, to put it in some sort of perspective, we were out at a remote community in the west. We were driving back in. It's a long drive. We saw at least 10 brand new Nissan Patrols, which cost $70,000 each. there's 700,000 on cars and they all had one person sitting in them, and they were all intervention staff. Now, you ask me what I could do with 700,000, what any Aboriginal community would do with $700,000. You know, enormous things. If we had $500 million injected into primary care in the Territory, foreseeably we could sort trachoma, rheumatic heart disease, we could screen everyone for chronic disease and manage it effectively, and probably cut the death rate. I mean, these are the things that you have to weigh up, you know. Could the money be spent better elsewhere? Absolutely. Sure, it's hard to attract people to remote communities and in Central Australia, but there's a whole bunch of us who've been here for a long time who are struggling away to get the job done. All we've needed is really access to more resources to get the job done properly.